So when they say your life flashes before your eyes, like right before you die, does time slow down? Am I like John Wick?
No, it's your brain actually like secretes all of the dopamine that it can. So you feel the best you're possibly going to feel.
I had a great reading a great Reddit thread where someone went through something really tight, which was my nightmare underwater. They went through like a tight cave.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
And someone else was like, oh man, could you imagine getting stuck? And then someone else replied, and they were like, actually, drowning is one of the most comfortable ways to die because your brain floods with endorphins and then you become at peace or whatever. And everyone was like, haha, no, it sucks because before you get to that point, you're struggling to breathe and you're choking down water and it burns your lungs and you're in utter pain and then you die. They're like, I know this because I've almost drowned several times. And then the other person didn't reply because they were just talking out of their ass.
The true lesson we should take from that is right before you die, you're going to feel great.
Well, you want to feel even greater, Bruce?
Yes.
You should try Hims because Hims has all you need for a full head of hair, beautiful skin, and even working parts down below.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna feel like you're drowning in a good way.
The way that guy thought.
If you try Hims, make sure to check with your doctor to see if it's right for you. They are the sponsor of this episode, and we're gonna hear more from the offer they have for you at the end of the show.
Your first question this week comes from Angsty Kylo Ren. Games like Grand Theft Auto pride themselves on being similar to real life. However, there are some things that they leave out. What are things you would add to open world games to make them more realistic?
The need to masturbate. Could you imagine if you're playing GTA 5 or whatever and Trevor shows up? You're like, I gotta do this mission, but then you realize how far away it is to drive, so you gotta pull over on the side of the road and then
Knock
jerk
one
off.
out.
Yeah. You can't just go on and on.
Fun.
San Andreas made you eat all the time. I feel like you should jerk off once or twice.
Much to James's point, I think you should be masturbating your horse as well. Because when you got a horse, just like in Red Dead Redemption 2,
Yeah.
you're going to have to masturbate the horse, you're going to have to masturbate
Painful
yourself.
for the horse.
It gets painful for the horse. Like eventually when it builds up in his balls, that's why he can't run as fast.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say to
You always say
girlfriend.
this to everyone.
you don't
Well, not
understand
even just your
girlfriends.
girlfriends.
I say it to everybody.
In the morning meetings, you're telling us.
I think we perform the greatest masturbation of all time. We masturbate the government and you
That
do your
was the
taxes.
question.
Oh, so you have to do your taxes in these open
Yeah,
world
that's what
games.
he's saying. Do your taxes. He was trying to tie it into that.
Yeah. No, I was thinking because you guys were like masturbate, and then I was like, no, we jerk the government off. We do our taxes in GTA. I think you learn something because econ's not going to teach you nothing. Did you know econ means economy?
It's actually economics. At least, who would you masturbate?
Tough one.
You do a lot of things in real
I
life.
mean, you could like talk about women problems that maybe come up
Oh, yeah,
pretty
maybe-
regularly, like getting paid less.
Yeah. You
Maybe
get
like
paid
vampire
less than
attacks?
Yeah, or being talked over, or maybe people suggesting things for you, talking louder than you, gaslighting.
Could all be these things.
What?
I think you don't have fast travel anymore.
Oh.
How am I supposed to get anywhere? What am I supposed to steal a car?
So they put bird scooters in the games instead.
That's a
I'm
great
okay
idea.
with that.
Can we do the birds, the limes, the Ubers, and the Lyft
All of
scooters?
them. I want options because competition is good.
The amount of bird scooters and all the different competing companies were actually in the game, it would crash.
You ever think about being an executive or anyone in high-ranking officer in those companies that their day in, day out is related to like territory grabs
Yeah.
in the scooter world?
That sounds like gangs in New York, but with scooters.
Exactly.
You're right, it's way cooler.
More machetes.
That's a movie. We should make that movie.
Next question from Farple21. Funhaus has their own AI assistant. What sets it apart from Alexa, Siri, Google, and Cortana?
Obviously, they're all always listening. That's how they work. But sometimes you do that thing where you're talking about something private and you're like, there's a speaker right here recording everything. Ours would just simply, it'd just like go, it clear its throat
Right.
every now and then. So it's like if you're having an argument with your significant other or whatever,
It's reminding you.
like someone would do if they were sitting in the corner
Right.
or whatever.
Mine would only respond to me in Jim Carrey quotes. So I'd be like, can you set an alarm for 30 minutes?
Smoking. Alrighty then. Oh. All right, give me. Let's throw out a few more here.
Okay, what day is it?
I'm the mask.
Hit me with one.
What's the weather like today?
Do not go in there.
Who is the King of England and
I'm the Grinch.
Jim Carrey assistant? What's your favorite number?
I was in a living color.
But
Could have done Fire Marshal Bill, but I wanted to say that I was in a living color.
Does she got big breasts?
David Allen Greer. Gotta get in there too.
It's in living color. It was a show on in the 90s. You guys don't know what we're talking about.
It was ahead of its time.
Scalpel! Happy entrails to you.
Next question from Isheli97. With the new Guillermo del Toro adaptation of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which other childhood books would you adapt into a movie, and who would you cast?
Cable Guy.
I always want. That was Roald Dahl, right?
What? You thought Cable Guy was Roald Dahl?
Yeah, was his original books, right?
Yeah, he
yeah.
did the Cable Guy books. He was
Okay,
known
good,
for it.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I didn't hear the
No, that's
question.
good.
All right, new Guillermo del Toro adaptation of Scary
What children's
Stories.
story are we going to adapt into a movie?
I would probably adapt those horrific illustrated books by Richard Scarry.
Oh, yeah.
I was always blown away by those things because he always drew people in these little houses.
And they were all animals.
true?
It was
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say, what
Animal
about the
Farm.
worm man?
Weird, yeah, the worm man with like a scarf. It just like that would freak the fuck out of kids. Get like a hot director on it, like the guy who did Ace Ventura 2.
Well, building off that, I think we should do a live-action Arthur.
Ugh.
To get a real anteater.
Or a person in prosthetics.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey would be great for it. What's
do
something he
anything.
might say in that movie?
I'm Arthur. Right? Wouldn't he?
Somebody, Arthur!
Yeah. The only thing that I think we should probably star in would be an adaptation of the Boxcar Children.
What's the boxcar?
It's a bunch of children, siblings, they believe, that live in a boxcar. And then some old rich guy
Doctor,
adopts
yeah.
them.
Oh, that sounds fun.
BS.
Well, he skins them.
He does skin them.
Yeah.
And there's
What?
some hot sexual tension between the two older siblings.
No, what we want to do is the Bobbsey twins. So Adam and I are the youngest Bobbsey twins.
Is that what they do? They
I don't
wink?
remember. I'm getting it mixed up with the borrower, so whatever.
You know, we could one up this. We could do the 5 Chinese Brothers. Did you ever read
right.
that book?
Yeah.
Who's got all the Chinese brothers with superpowers and they try and execute them all?
Yeah.
Really offensive. Pretty sure written by a white guy.
Yeah, it had to have been racist.
Yeah.
Below 0 Kelvin. In a world where a god gives every human a gift, but a devil gives them a curse or a condition. So maybe you're given the power of flight, but you can only fly south. Which power would you like to have, and which ironic condition would be applied to it?
$1 million butt is what he's saying.
That's basically what it is.
He's ripping it off. I think we should sue him.
My power is that I no longer prematurely ejaculate, but I can't control when I ejaculate at all.
Oh, man.
So we could be there for days.
Well, that's good, though, if you're there for days.
She could barely stand a couple minutes.
All right, so you guys know that I love Mexican food, but I don't know how to cook. I'm terrible at cooking. So I'd be given the power to cook, but I could only cook Italian food.
You're like, maybe I should make a burrito. A little oregano, tomato sauce. Ah!
And I throw it in the trash again. It's like every time.
I always like the idea that I could eat whatever I want, but I would continually get thinner.
That's called a movie. It's called a movie's called Thinner.
Yeah, it's a book
Pet
too.
Cemetery.
I'm Pet Cemetery.
Nice. Please.
Please be to come faster. Please be to come faster.
I have a beautiful singing voice, but I can only sing blurred lines.
Oh, I love that song.
It's just, it becomes objective that I have the most beautiful singing voice in the world. So like I'm invited to all these,
course, yeah.
government dinners to perform because they're like, which thick would you rather be trapped in a room with, Alan or Robin?
The dead one. This is from GBEC102. It's the Chinese New Year. What animal would represent your new year, and what would that animal be a symbol for?
I think I'm rat. My actual year is rat. It's like, you're a bottom feeder and will do anything to get ahead. I'm like, yeah, that is me.
They updated it now. It just says you're a bottom.
Well, we can pick our own
Oh, yeah.
animals. So mine would be Mewtwo.
Oh, that's a great idea. He's an animal.
Yeah, because that is his tail or his dick.
And I get to be Pikachu.
Yep.
Pikachu.
Yes.
I'd be a jackalope since that's also made up, and his attributes are...
He's from that Dave Coulier show.
Yeah, I know. I like that jackalope.
They'll never touch me.
God, the 90s were great. Don't bring them back.
Who would you be, Elise?
I'd be Puff the Magic Dragon. It'd be a symbol for having a good time.
Fucking rooster. Nice.
Chinese love him.
420 New Year.
Last question from Nolan Shergold. If all classical gyms close down, how would you maintain your fitness?
Classical, like Roman men jumping on each other's
Yeah.
shoulders.
It's just a bathhouse and guys wrestling each
I
other
thought a lot about that, actually. That's what cavemen would have had to do to maintain their fitness.
to keep their abs.
And keep shredded. They had to run around and hunt.
Oh, I thought they got a stick and then put 2 rocks on either side.
They created a bench
Lifted
press.
weights. The cavemen didn't lift weights. They went out and hunted for their women. So that the women could see how shredded they were, and then they'd have sex with them. And then after they had sex, they ate, because that was the food they hunted for. And they did it all over again every day. What a life.
What a 23-year-old life.
I would just go out into the front yard and keep trying to do backflips until I landed one. I feel like that would get me in pretty good shape.
Snap your neck there, bud.
Would I want to live in a world without traditional gyms? No, I don't think so.
You'd kill yourself.
So it's a win-win for me.
I've been building a lot of IKEA furniture lately, and I feel so sore and dead inside. I think I'd professionally just build only IKEA furniture, though. Nothing more complicated than that.
While his wife is watching TV.
She was playing piano.
Oh, sorry.
I can stick to my fitness plan now, which is just James drops me off in a sketchy part of town, and then I have to run out of it as fast as I can.
Wow, that's a good exercise
It's like 20 minutes before sunset, too.
Shoots a flare, right? So everyone can come to there.
Listen, I'm confident that I could feel masculine even if I didn't go to the gym. If I talk to my doctor and get a prescription from Hims. This episode is sponsored by some real talk, aka Hims. We've mentioned their hair loss prevention products in the past, but that isn't the only service they offer. It might sound silly, but sexual performance issues in men are way more common than you'd think. In fact, over 25% of new ED cases are in men under 40. Enter 4hims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat ED. This isn't snake oil or stuff you'd find at a gas station. It's genuine prescriptions backed by science. Plus, you get to skip the waiting room and awkward doctor visits. Use 4hims.com to connect confidentially with a doctor who will make sure treatment is right for you. Try Hims for a month today for just $5 while supplies last. Check out the website for full details. This would cost hundreds from any other doctor or pharmacy. So go to 4hims.com/openhouseed. That's FORHIMS.com/openhouseed. Get the boner you deserve. Do you ever think about how history will ultimately cover certain things? Like certain things will be remembered. Bill Gates,
Jim Carrey,
obviously,
Definitely.
remembered for a very long time. But the sands will cover up certain things, and I often wonder what year will be the year where the last person who knows what mud vein is will die.
Oh, no.
that happened already. It's 2003.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's 2003. Nobody remembers it. Boy,
Oh,
it's gone.
okay, yeah, all right. Well, then I feel better about that.
Humankind's not so bad. Don't say Detroit.
Should we do this? Should I call someone? and they'll
Ask them where they make cars in Michigan.
Oh,
Oh, well, you're gonna have to be more specific. Say, where did Home Alone or Home Improvement take place?
They'll know that?
Yeah, of
Canadians
course.
will know that?
You'd think that if it's all French speaking, they'd say Detroit.
Sure,
Right?
of course.
'Cause that's probably how it's supposed to be pronounced.